Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, 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 this is your Sister Naira with the Heal on Purpose podcast. I am totally excited to be here with you tonight as we are working to eradicate generational trauma, drama, limiting beliefs, and self sabotage and behavior patterns. And tonight, I gotta be totally transparent before I get into this word and bring my guests forward. When I tell you podcasting ain't easy, my goodness. But what I want to say is that anything that you do and everything that you do, the key to anything to be successful is persistence. And so tonight, out of all nights, it really showed up for me to just be persistent. Now I haven't been live in a little minute because your sister is totally on a mission to get some things accomplished. But one thing I know, and two things for sure, as my daddy would have said, I don't give up and I don't give in. And so tonight I'm here to bring forth to you She Totally Wins. For our beautiful sister Kenyatta. She is our guest speaker tonight. And I'm truly excited because I know this sister is going to bring it for us, especially for the women. And so I'm going to read her bio off so that we all can get acquainted with her as she brings forth her beautiful jewels and add value to this process of eradicating generational trauma. Remember, here on Heal on Purpose, our sole purpose is to repair the Black family, which is to repair humanity. So our beautiful sister Kenyatta Rucker is a native Floridian and a lifelong resident of St. Petersburg, Florida. She is the middle child of her mother and the eldest of her father. Kenyatta studied an array of fields, have a few certifications such as limited certi agent bail bond, public notary, a licensed claim adjuster, and a full specialist in skin care and nails. She is the founder of the nonprofit organization She Wins Totally Inc. because she never gives up, which focus on empowering women to embrace their true, authentic selves. With over 20 years in the bail bond industry, Kenyatta is the proud owner of So Sweet, the healing place in Kenyatta Rucker Bail Bonds, where she offers bail bond services for those in need. She has a passion for helping others and feel that we are all one bad decision away from jail, so we should not judge others. Come on now, Sister Kenyatta. That's what I'm talking about. Her character and community work speaks for itself. She currently sits on the board of a few nonprofit organizations: St. Pete Little Devils, Destiny Christian Outreach Ministries, Perfecting Love Ministries, and formerly sat on the board of Inner City Advocates, which is a nonprofit organization for at-risk teens and young adults. She also volunteers at local churches and participates in feeding the community while bringing awareness to gun violence within South St. Pete. Kenyatta is a working mother of four who loves spending time with her family. Quote from Kenyatta: I hope to be the change in my family, to break generational curses while building generational wealth and building a household brand that my grandchildren and great grandchildren can benefit from. Wow. We have a beautiful sister, and I'm going to bring on my guest, Miss Kenyatta Rucker. How you doing, beautiful?
Hey, good and you. Oh, when you talked about she wins totally, about the never giving up portion. If you notice, my background has changed because I've moved around a couple times. So I appreciate this opportunity.
I absolutely, I absolutely understand, and I do know what we had to go through to make this happen. But that's the beauty of two women coming together. What they say, where two or more are gathered in my name, He's in the midst. So we know that this
Agree.
is ordained,
Yes.
and this has to
Amen.
happen. As because we got a great mission, and that
Yes.
great mission is to help more win, especially when it comes to the women. So, Miss Kenyatta, tell us a little bit more about you beyond the paper, who you are, and how you show up in the world.
Okay. Okay. So as Sister Naira mentioned, I wear many hats. Um, One that I'm very passionate about is the empowerment of women. I was one that had a child when I was younger. And I did not have, I had a support system as far as my aunts and everything is concerned, but I did not, I was really green, put it that way. And I
Hmm.
went through some things. I
Hmm.
went through a lot of stuff growing up. And I just said, if I would have had some of the resources that's available or would have known about them, it probably would have kind of changed the situation that I was going through at that
Hmm.
particular time.
Hmm.
And that's how She Wins totally came about, because she never gave up. Because throughout adversity and things that may go on in our daily lives, goals that you may be trying to crush, if you don't give up, you will win, basically. So,
Hmm.
that's pretty much me. You pretty much summed me up in a nutshell. Just, advocate for women, advocate for children, for young adults, for young women, because I didn't have that voice when I was coming up. So I want to be that voice for them.
Wow. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing that and being very transparent. Now, you said that you became a parent at a young age. If you don't mind me asking for the audience, what was that age?
I was 17 when I had my
17.
daughter.
Yes.
17, yes, I was a senior in high school. And yeah, young, and I wouldn't even say, well, I can't say young and dumb, but
I understand.
my first time, yeah, my first time, having sex. And because I come from an old school family, like, you don't even, that's one of the things you don't mention at all about safe sex. It was, you better not have it.
You better
But you
not
see
do it.
everybody, you better not do it. That's it.
That's
But you
it.
see everyone around you, doing it.
Right.
And I was afraid to go and tell my mom what I was doing with my boyfriend. But she let me have a boyfriend, so she should have known. But anyway,
Come on
that's
now.
neither here. That's neither here or there. But I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, who's now 25. Got pregnant with her, and that's what made me grow. She's what changed me, what made me grow up, because I had to take care of my child as a child, pretty much by myself.
Absolutely. And I understand that very, very clearly. I was 17 when I had my first child. And I remember when, I had to tell my mom I was pregnant, right? The thing about it is, you said you came up in that house where, you don't even talk about it. But in my house, I wasn't
No.
just told not to do it. I was put on birth control and I wasn't having sex. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess that means I can. you know, it's like I'm not doing nothing, but you still gonna take birth control. So, we're living in a
Yes.
society now where the culture, in my viewpoint, the culture that we came up in where, you was told certain things, or, you was sheltered from certain things, and you had your peer pressure. But today, in today's society, from my viewpoint, it's just like it's all open. Everything is open.
Yes.
The
Mhm.
girls in this day and time, they don't have, from my vantage point, because you got babies who's raising babies, so they don't
Yes.
have that really, what we feel like it was cultivation, but it was like a strictness, right? Now
Yes.
things are more loose. It's like,
It
what?
is.
Like,
It is.
like, no. So what would you say to that young girl that's raising a baby? She's a baby herself, and she don't have that type of support system that we came up through, right? Which the generation before us was different, but we have a new generation.
Mhm.
What would you say to that girl or that woman that has that child, that's 17, 16, 17 years old and facing peer pressure, but we're trying to elevate her so she can totally win? What would you say to that family?
Well, first off, I would tell her, you know, your your decision, because a baby is not a mistake. A baby is a blessing.
Come on now.
But your decision in your current situation does not define who you are. You can still live a life abundantly. It's going to be harder, a little harder than it would if you did not have a child, but you can do it. It's great to reach out to mentors and even different resources within the community. Reach out and see what community resources are there for you, especially if you're out here doing it by yourself. There are so many things that's offered for single women, so many resources. And lean on your community, find your community and lean on your community, because it's it's going to be it's going to be hard, but you can do it. And
Hmm.
you can win if you don't give up. Just take it one day at a time. That's what I had to do. That's what I had to tell myself. And one of the things that I did, luckily, because I always was around older people, was I started putting things up for my child. Like
Mm,
if I had 5, 10, $15 in my pocket, I will put that in a savings account, in an interest bearing account for my kid. So that way,
hmm,
when they turn a certain age, that money is right there readily available for them. Start
hmm.
setting yourself up now for your future. Start setting your child up now for your future. And if it's something that you can't afford to do right now, try to better the situation by getting a job that offers 401k.
Okay, I
That's
hear you.
one of the things that I learned. If you're not, in business for yourself, and you can still set your business up that way too, but you can get into employment that offers those 401k plans and those savings plans that'll help you to save money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. That's valuable data that you just gave for us. And so as I think about this word that you said, that's very key, not just to our young adult women, um, but when the word mentoring, how does that play even when it comes to the adult woman or the adult man, to totally win for her, for she to totally win? How do you see mentoring playing in a society that we have now, or in a community of women? Do you see that that's necessary, or is it just, I could just bond with another girl or another sister? How does mentoring look to you?
Mentoring to me, like, I mean, even bonding in with someone first off, you have to figure out what it is that you want,
Come on.
okay? Because there are mentors in every field that you go into. What is it that you want? Are you needing a mentor for self care, a life coach? Are you needing a mentor for the field in which you're trying to get into? What is it? Define what you need a mentor for. And
Hmm.
everyone, I feel like everyone needs a mentor, someone that has, pretty much mastered that field, that can give you the blueprint. Because one thing that we tend to do is we will bump our heads ourselves. But why do you have to do that when you have someone that has gone through it
Come on now.
already, and they can give you the blueprint to help you to be successful? So I think mentorship is really good. And sometimes, like when they're on the outside looking in, well, when you're right in that situation, you can't see what someone is on the outside can see. So
That's
it's good to have, a different viewpoint and someone to assist you into achieving your goals, because that person and is for you. And one thing we have to stop doing is selling ourselves short. We
Ooh,
want
say
everything
that.
for free. You
Say
can't
that.
get everything for free. Everything comes with a cost. Like, if you don't pay the cost, the person that's doing the service is paying the cost of their time, their knowledge, things of that sort. So I think it's mentorship is very important, and it's very key to the success and that you're trying to achieve. And it, like I say, it depends on the field in which you're trying to go into, or if you're looking for a life coach, they can shed some light and help you, guide you through to your next level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love what you said about the blueprint, right? You know, somebody that done been through some things that you trying to go through, or you have been through and didn't know how to get out of. Because most time we as women, we find ourselves stuck, right? We're stuck in situations because we don't know
Yes.
how to make that next powerful decision, or we don't have the experience in that,
Mhm.
or maybe we failed and we didn't know, how to recover from that. And what I found, my beautiful sister Kenyatta, is when you're talking about mentorship or even bonding with another woman, it takes trust, right? It takes trust to be able to
Mhm.
lean into another woman's knowledge, lean into her experience, right? To lean into her, right? So, what would
Right.
you say for that sister? It took me. Let me just be transparent. It took me a while to trust another woman, right? It took some growing, some mentally, it took me to go through some things to be able to trust another woman with my
Yes.
heart, right? Because when you're talking about mentor, that means I'm trusting you with my mind. I'm trusting you with my heart. What does it take for a
Yes.
woman to
Yes.
to to lean into another woman, to lead her, to guide her? What would you say to that? To a woman that may have been like me, like, okay, yeah, mentoring, what? I gotta first trust you before I even think about some money.
Well, I can tell you this, I'm still there. I'm not there yet. I'm not all the way there yet. I just think for me, it's in the quality of that person, the things that they do, the person that you can tell when someone is genuine. I've been
Mhm,
burned so much by women, and this
mhm,
is one of the reasons She Wins totally came about, because
mm,
of the experiences that I've had with other women. You
mhm,
try to trust women, you try to trust them, and it hurts when you put your all into someone and I'm not going to say they let you down per se, but they do vicious things, out of hurt themselves, things that they may be going through, um, maybe jealousy. I don't know what it is. But what I have learned is that person has to heal themselves first before they
come on.
can help to heal someone else. Um, for me, like when it comes to you and Chandra and Aaron and Leslie and some of the women within the community, they have shown themselves worthy. They've shown themselves worthy for me to open up. They made me feel safe.
Mm,
So I feel, you have to feel safe and you make that determination. We can't make
mhm.
that determination. That's something that you have to feel for that person if they're the right fit for you.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful term that you used, Kenyatta, and thank you for all that you said. Feeling safe, and I know when I was coming through my trust issues, one of the key factors, and I hope the audience can really key in on this part, is I had to learn how to trust myself. You know, I had to learn how to look for love from self. Like, before, what am I looking for in another woman that I have yet to identify in me? So I had to learn some of the good qualities
Mhm.
about myself. And then me learning me helped me to see the next beautiful part in my sister, right? And that which I was lacking,
Right.
right? That which I was lacking, then I appreciated myself enough that I could look to another sister and say, wow, I really admire that about her. You understand? But it took me to
Yes.
a point where I
Mhm.
had to really, like you said, I had to get into it intentionally, Sister Kenyatta, intentionally get into a healing journey that I began to learn
Yes.
myself. And now it has become easier, like fluid, like I flow with it, so I can lean into another woman. Make sense, lean into her ideas, lean into
Right.
her concept without interference of my own baggage. Make sense? Because I'm working on
Mhm.
that, or I've
Right.
worked on that. And there's a
Right.
lot of things I've overcome, and there's a lot of things that I'm overcoming. which makes
Yes.
me come to your point where, and I love this concept. Like she totally wins, right? So there's no failure in that, right? This is success
No,
upon
in every
success.
area.
Yes, ma'am. And so it's like light upon light. This word authentic, right? Authenticity. We are hearing that a lot in this day and time. Like we hear that. So let's speak into that. Let's talk about that. Tell me about, you know, helping women to embrace their true authentic selves.
Well, because we live in a society, like I always say, where everyone wants to be like someone else. But God made you perfectly. He said you were perfectly and wonderfully made to be
Teach.
yourself. There is no other like you.
Come
You
on.
are who God created you to be. Like, you are so different from, you may have some of the same qualities, but your DNA and what makes you you is so
Mm,
different than anyone else. And my thing is, once you embrace who you are and the magnificentness of you, you would start your. I'm gonna tell you this. I went in, I was like, I remember after having my youngest child, I went into a depression, postpartum depression. Okay. I
teach,
did
teach.
not I didn't like myself. I didn't like nothing. I darn near didn't like anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And what it all started was, what helped me to start changing was I had to first off start changing my mindset, start
Mm-hmm.
changing my mind, doing things differently, and just knowing that I'm Kenyatta. God made me Kenyatta. There's nobody like Kenyatta. There's nobody like Sister Naira. And so when we say embracing who you are, that's just basically saying getting to the core of yourself, just
Mm,
rediscovering who you are as not only just a person, but as a woman.
mm-hmm.
We carry so many hats. We mother, sister, wife, granddaughter, whatever that title is. But at the end of the day, we are a woman first, and you
Teach.
have to embrace who God created you to be, stripped of everything else, all the titles. Just who are you? When you look in the mirror, are you happy with yourself? And if you're not happy with yourself, what are you going to do to change that? And how can we assist you with getting
Mm.
back to who you are? And that's why we have sisters like you.
All praises due to the one most high God. As I was listening to you speak, especially when you said getting down to the core of who you are, you talked about that DNA, which goes back to the blueprint, and as women that's made in America, come on now, we got to unmask these
Hmm.
masks. we got to like peel them back
Girl,
layer by
what?
layer. We got to
Trail
unmask
violate,
ourselves,
yeah.
right? We got to unlearn
Mm-hmm.
to relearn.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be deprogrammed, right? We got to
Mm-hmm.
literally reprogram our DNA down to a cellular level.
Re
We got to become back up into
right.
God's woman. And that's a process because truth
Yes.
is truth, right? I can't say that I know all of the 400 years of struggle, but we still in a struggle. I can identify with at least 49 years because
We
I'm
are.
49 years, right? I'm 49 years old. But in the struggle, I seen what my mother went through. I seen what my grandmothers went through. I seen what my aunties went through. I know what I've been through, and I know what I'm trying to prevent my daughters from going through. So when you talking about being
Exactly.
that authentic self, I had to learn. Listen to this, Sister Kenyatta. I had to learn how to peel off the identities that did not belong to me. Some things was not my struggle. It was my mama's struggle, right? It was her
Yes.
struggle.
That's
Some
yes.
things was
Yes.
my grandmother's struggle, right? Some
Yeah.
things was my
Mm-hmm.
auntie's struggles. But because I came up in the culture, okay, they went through it. I had to go through it too.
I had to
Didn't
go.
consciously
No.
say that, but the process was that. But when I learned how to identify and differentiate and learn from what they've been through, but go through my own thing, then and only then I can say I'm learning how to show up as my own authentic
Right.
self, my own authentic self.
Right.
But that takes work. And so I'm saying to you, Sister Kenyatta, as we're talking to women, some of the work that we got to do to get to, like you said, the core of our DNA. I feel like one of the key things is we got to change the language. We got to learn how to speak life, because every
Speak
word,
life.
who we are. What would you say to that?
I mean, yes, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. Yes, speaking life, but you have to first change the mind, because the mind is a powerful thing. So when
Mm-hmm.
you change your mind, you change your life. When you
Mm-hmm.
start thinking positive things, when you start, they say, manifesting things,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when everything else starts to line up. Your thought process first, what you speak out your mouth, and then you start doing it.
Come
So
on
that's
now.
the work. So
Come on
once
now.
you thought about it, you spoke on it, now you're starting to do the work.
Come
And
on.
it's a process. And that process isn't easy. Nothing in life is easy if it's worth having. But start working on your mind and your thought process. I don't know what that's going to take for you. Sometimes it's getting in the word. Just get, I'll tell you one thing that works for me. And this is something that when I speak about nakedness,
Mm.
when I'm in the shower sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
I go before God
Mm.
because I'm at my most vulnerable state.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like when I petition and I start speaking,
Mm-hmm.
and once I start speaking the issues and start speaking life, everything that I'm saying, it starts going down the drain. And when
Mm-hmm.
I jump up out of that shower, not only do I feel clean, I feel cleansed from the
Mm-hmm.
inside. So
Mm-hmm.
it's an internal thing. Everything that we're speaking about is the mind, that's internal. You're
Mm-hmm.
speaking the power of your tongue,
Mm-hmm.
manifestation, and then doing the work,
Come
because
on.
faith without work is dead.
It's dead. Come on, Sister Kenyatta. Don't make me have church up in here on this podcast. What you say,
You
sis?
might have made me out there.
Look, what you
Faith
say, sis?
without work
Wash
is
and be
dead.
clean. Huh? I understand that. Wow.
And be cleansed, girl.
I,
Yes.
I feel
Yes,
that. I
you have
feel that. And
to.
audience, I hope and pray that this message is serving you. The key three points, three steps my sister gave us is change your mind, speak life, and then get into doing this, which means get into action. And I'll just add this one
Mm-hmm.
thing, Sister Kenyatta. Decide, who do you have to be to become? Woo, what you say? Huh? You got to be able to
Woo!
decide who you got to be in order
Yes.
to become. Because a lot of
To
times
be.
we're trying to be the things that's not
Yes.
us. You got to when you said redefine who you have to be to get to where you want to become, right? And that means you got to have clarity. Go back
Right.
to your mind work, clarity of mind. You got to see that manifest. You got to see it. You got to see it. And then when you see it, now start to be it. Don't wait till you get there. Be it in your now. And so
Right.
being your authentic
Right.
self, do that in the now. Sister Kenyatta, I have a lot to say, but I want to shift this conversation a little bit because you have done some really, really great things. And, something that's a little rare for the Black woman, and that has been a bells bundle. Come on now. You gotta talk about this. I don't know too many Black women that's bells bundle. You said we one decision away. No, you said we one decision away from being in jail. I need to know about
Girl, we one decision away.
Wait a minute, Sister
Yes, we
Kenyatta.
are. Like,
Let's talk about it. First and
what's
foremost,
that?
before we get there, how did you become a bells bummy? What got you on that track?
Okay, so um I started in the bell industry when I was 19 years old. I
Mm,
started at Scotty Bell Bonds, which is one of the older agencies in Pinellas County. And
Mhm.
when I started at their agency, I started out filing
Mhm.
paperwork.
Mm.
And I, you know, was promoted from there to answering phones. And
Mhm.
then from there, it started sparking my interest. And then when I saw with a wave of a pen that I can set someone free.
Wow.
Now, let me tell you, this is about healing childhood trauma, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Because what made me really get involved in bail bonds was not only that, I had a young child, I needed a job back then. I did not really know what bail bondsmen do. But when I found out what they did, and I knew, like, since I was a baby, my dad was in and out of prison, in and out of jail. My uncles would be in and out of jail. My brother would be in and out of jail. And like I say, with the wave of a pen, I can
Mhm.
set someone free, send them
Mm.
back home to their families so that they can, get their lives in order and at least try to find some type of balance. And um, so that's how I started in the bail bond industry.
Wow.
Um, from there, I seen that it inspired a lot of women. A lot of women has become bondsmen since
Wow.
I've, been an agent, and as well as a few of my colleagues as well. So um, I took this thing, instead of, a lot of people, they use it to just make money. Okay, for
Mhm.
me it was bigger than money.
Mhm.
It was more so helping
Mhm.
someone, helping them to get their life back on track,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I use that as saying, with my dad, every time my dad went to jail, here I go, I'm signing him out.
Mhm.
Every time he go, he'll miss court on me. And here
Mhm.
I go, back again, signing
Mhm.
him out, you
Mhm.
know. And then I had to see, from that point that, people make those decisions themselves. It's not me. I cannot enable them.
Right.
And my father recently passed away. So it's like, now what am I doing it for? You know what
Right.
I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Um, because you get to a point to where you feel like you're enabling
Mhm.
people,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
and your purpose was to help, but now you feel like you're enabling,
Mhm.
and your
Mhm.
main purpose for doing it is no longer there.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
this the business is, it it seems exciting to everyone, to a lot of people, but you become a counselor, you become a mother to some of these boys out here, some of these
Mhm.
young girls out here that
Mhm.
don't know, that, I mean, that gets in trouble because they don't know any other way.
Mhm.
One
Mhm.
thing that's the most disheartening in the bell industry is just seeing someone's dad, get arrested, go through the judicial system, and years down the line, you see where the child is repeating that same process,
Mhm.
and that's disheartening. So whereas everyone, think that it's a fun, exciting thing, it can be if you want to put your life on the line.
Mm.
But and that's something I've been doing now for over 23 years, and I'm tired now.
Mm.
But there'll be a young person that will find that, yeah, it's exciting, you going to chase people and this, that, and the other. But the reason why I got into the bell industry was to help those that need help, not to put them back in jail.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's
That's
my
beautiful.
thing, my take on. Hmm.
That's beautiful. You know, your heart, your heart is as big as your mission, you know. And I hear you, and I hear the pain in that, but I also see the freedom. It's very touching because my father passed away in prison, so I understand exactly, not exactly, but I understand what you're saying, and I feel you on that. And so I would just encourage you to say, continue on with your why, because God going to continue to
Hmm.
strengthen you in your why you're doing it, or you have done it for 20
Hmm.
20
Hmm.
plus years, and he'll continue to, like I said, strengthen you. And so with that being said, that's courageous. To me, that means you totally winning. You totally winning for the Black family, because your heart is pure and you get to speak a word that you may not see germinate in that moment, but it will germinate,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
thank you for being on the forefront, on the front lines, right? For our people. But you said turning that
Oh
generational
yeah.
trauma into generational wealth building, building generational
And
wealth,
healing, generational.
generational healing.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And
Mhm.
so to empower women, everything starts with the woman. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that 75% of
Yes,
the
it
work
does.
is
It
with
does.
the woman, right? When you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. So with you doing what you're
A
doing,
nation.
that's right. You are building nations. You are a nation builder, you know? And so we have something that's coming up, brunching for a cause. And I'm so elated to be a
Mhm.
part of this, this life changing, community changing. When you bring women together, you shaking universes. Come on now. You shaking galaxies.
Yes, girl. And we always appreciate you, Sister Naira, because you be right there front and center. Every time we call, you like, yep. I'm like waiting on the time you say, oh, I'm gonna be out of town. You be like, nope, yep, I got it. I'll be there. You tell me what you need. And we so appreciate you for that.
Yes. I'm just happy to be a part of powerful Black women that's doing something that's moving and shaking. And we say we know one another by the spirit. So we understand that, doing this work is not our first rodeo. We've done this by the spirit for a long time. Makes sense?
Yes.
So we just got to keep
Makes
carrying on
sense.
what our grandparents did and our great great grandparents and our great great. We are the answer. Say that with me. We are the answers to somebody's prayers. Somebody pray
We
for us.
are the answers. Amen.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Somebody prayed for us. And because of that prayer, we're sitting here
Mm-hmm.
right now talking about healing on purpose. We're sitting here right now talking about she
Mm-hmm.
totally wins. We are placing attention on the woman and in particular the Black woman because we are the most in need of healing. And so, with that being said,
Yes,
let's talk
we are.
about this brunching for a cause. Tell the audience about that and what does that mean, and what are we looking to achieve on that day?
Well, brunching for a cause. So she went totally. This is our first brunch back from COVID. We were brunching back since 2018, and then when COVID struck, we had to stop. But what we are brunching for this cause is to assist single mothers that's facing homelessness with resources to help them gain sustainability. By doing that, what she wins totally is wanting to do is purchase a home. We have
Mm,
so many women out that have are currently facing homelessness, and they go into these shelters with their kids and they're not safe. They go into these shelters and they get turned away because some shelters don't take children. So we want to be able to purchase a home for temporary housing for these single women that have children until they find a more permanent housing solution. We will continue to brunch until we reach our goal of assisting these women with transitioning from homelessness to a more permanent housing solution. And one of the things that Pinellas County School Board is wanting to do is provide our organization with a trailer. In order for them to do that, we have to have a location to sit this trailer on. So we are brunching to raise funds to purchase a lot to
come
get
on.
this trailer, and not only to get this trailer, maybe we can build a house on that lot. And maybe Pinellas County may not be the only city we do this in. Our vision is to have a home in Hillsborough County, in Manatee County, so that we can help as many women as we possibly can. But our focus right now is the Black woman in Pinellas County.
Ooh, now you better say that. And I gotta apologize because my engineer is not helping me tonight. But I do want you to tell, how can the community donate to this? How can they get tickets? Hopefully I can go back and add it on. But if you listen, when you listen to this tonight, if it's not going across the screen, just know that Sister Naira did this by herself tonight. I'm proud of myself. But anyway, Kenyatta,
You did a
how can
good
they
job.
thank you. How can they donate towards this? How can they get tickets to help in this most worthy cause?
Well, you can always visit us online at She Wins Totally. That's SHEWINS totally TOTALLY.org. There is an option for you to register for the event, or if you just want to simply donate, there's a donate now option. And 100% of the proceeds go to our cause. We do not we do not utilize our proceeds for anything other than our mission and helping the community. Every dollar that we receive goes back into the community, whether it's through financial literacy courses, whether it's through self healing, self care days. But for this cause right here, this is 100% of your donation is going to support the cause.
Absolutely. And Kenyatta, and for my listening audience, I have a global reach. And I'm asking for anyone that listen to this now, you listen to the replay, however you hear this message and you get to this portion of the message, please go and donate to this worthy cause, because so many of our women are misused and abused because they just don't have a place to go. I remember when I was 13 years old and I called myself running away from home, and I was from pillar to post. If I would have had a safe house, maybe I could have done a little
Mm-hmm.
better in that part. So I'm definitely encouraging,
Mm-hmm.
all of my
Mm-hmm.
listeners, if it's a dollar, if we get 100 people to give just a minimum of $1, come on now, 100 people giving $10, 100 people giving
Mm-hmm.
$20, you
Yes.
know, so 100 people giving $100. Don't let me announce what you gonna give. Give and give some more. And
Right.
so Kenyatta,
All is appreciated.
come on now. What is it that you would like to? Any other messages you would like to give to our listening audience as it relates to anything? Like what would you like for the audience to know? Like give me
Well,
three
just
things that you want the
speaking on
audience.
times right now,
Mm-hmm.
just speaking on times right now, never give up and keep pressing forward. No matter what the situation and the circumstance is, if it's cliche, yes, but if God brought you to it, He will bring you through it. He has equipped you with everything that you need in this life to be successful. Don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Stay true to who you are and stay true to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And never, I would say, sometimes it is okay to seek help. If you we don't have all the answers, it's okay to reach out, seek help, and lean on someone else when you're going through a struggle. And I just want to say to you, Sister Naira, thank you so much for your contribution to the community. We appreciate you so much in the work that you and your husband are doing and you all have done. And I pray that God continues to bless everything that you all set forth. And as He continues to order your step and you continue to move your feet, I pray blessings upon you.
Thank you so much, my beautiful sister Kenyatta. I'm just grateful and I'm humbled just to be a part of a community, to be able to give back to my community. I was that little girl that was running away. I was that little girl that was fighting in the streets. I was that little girl that came up in a domestic violence home. We all got our stories and chapter after chapter, but I can truly say that I came through it. And as I came through it, I know that our families need to be repaired. And so it's that old saying,
Yeah.
if God could do it for me, mm, he would do it for you.
He
And
can
it
do
all
it for
starts
you.
with the woman. And
Amen.
that's why I
Amen.
know that your nonprofit is so key to helping the family to come back together, because when you repair the woman, you repair a nation. So I want to thank you, Kenyatta. I love you,
Amen.
girl. I love me some you, okay?
I love you
And I can't wait
too.
to
Same
come
here,
and
girl. I
see.
love you
We're
too.
gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And if you have not gotten your ticket, please go to shetotallywins.org. Get
She
your ticket.
wins totally.
Oh, so she wins
She
totally. Sorry.
she wins totally.org. Yes,
ShewinsTotally.org. Get your ticket today. If you
that's
are
it.
local and you listening to this, I want to see you in there. Okay. Let us know you heard us
Yes.
on Heal on Purpose podcast. And with that being said, Sister Kenyatta, I'm gonna make a couple announcements. Do you have any books or anything else you want to promote?
Oh, no, well, we just recently relocated our restaurant,
Okay.
727 Seafood and Grill. If you all are familiar with St. Petersburg, Florida, then you all know Red Snack Shack.
Yes, we
Our
do.
family, our family was the original owners of Red Snack Shack, and they still are the owners of the building. So we 727 Seafood have moved our restaurant into our family building, the old
Wow.
Red Snack Shack, and we are open and we are ready to take you all on. We do have seafood options, but we are incorporating hamburgers and fried foods as well as healthy choices as well. That
Wow.
address is 1701 16th Street South.
Okay, now look, y'all. If y'all from St. Pete, I'm gonna say it like St. Pete. If y'all from St. Pete, you know what it is with Red Snack Shacks.
Oh, and we do have milkshakes.
Okay, they got them milkshakes. Okay, so yes, we looking forward to the big red burgers too. All right.
Yes.
So we thank you so much, Kenyatta. I'm gonna go ahead and make some announcements. I'm gonna pull you in the back. So if you can hold on for me and let me make these quick announcements. All right. Okay. Family, we want to thank you so very much for tuning in to Heal on Purpose, hosted by the Repair of the Black Family. We truly have enjoyed you all tonight. I am so grateful that I was able to be honored to interview our beautiful sister Kenyatta Rucker, which She Wins Totally. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. And we want to make sure that we continue to do more collaborations in our community. So please tap in, come to the branch, come hear more with more powerful women. As you can see, Dr. LaDonna Butler is going to be there. Dr. Tanja Williams, Tiara Aker, and some more people. I can't see their names, but Erin McFarley. There's going to be a host of women coming together using our power voices to uplift and create change in our community. And as I go ahead and get ready to close out, if you do not have this book, The Repair of the Black Family Anthology, do not hesitate to get this book. Go to www.repairoftheblackfamily.com. Get the book. You have 33 powerful authors that has come together telling our stories. We're not just telling our stories. We're telling how the lessons learned and how we got over. And then we're actually giving you 3 repair actions, 3 solutions. So we're not just going to identify problems, but we're going to give you solutions. Get the book today. It's also on Amazon. It's an Amazon bestseller, and we desire for you to take the wisdom of this book, the healing balm of this book, and apply it in your life. Last but not least, y'all know what it is. It is the Ignition Heal on Purpose Retreat with Sister Nayera in Orlando, Florida, September 18th through the 21st. It is all inclusive men and women life coaching retreat. We're now taking deposits. Payment plans are available. You want to come to Orlando. This is going to focus in on mindset. It's going to focus in on relationships. It's going to focus in on communication, self-care, self-love, and an abundance of data, information, along with bonding, excursions, you name it. Most of what you name, we are going to have. So we thank you so very much for listening to us today. We definitely want you to go ahead and text 727-623-5555. Text the word retreat so that you can go ahead and get in with Sister Naira and Brother David. We just made 24 years of being married, by the way. Get in with Sister Naira, Brother David. You know we get results, and we're ready to help you. Thank you all so much for listening, for tuning in with us today. We love you. This has been another broadcast, Heal on Purpose with Sister Naira and the Repair of the Black Family. Thank you. Peace.